come from Amsterdam. I like it. So, how are you doing?
Good, yeah.
Great. The kids. So, Fragment, Dankeschön für die Einladung. Es ist super toll, hier zu sein. So, that said, who am I? I am actually the voice of systemic, customer, and team development. And what does that mean, systemic? If we look at the big customer, it means that I do not really do one-on-one interviews, but I work with an entire set of customers, or even with an entire customer team if I am working within an existing organization. And when it comes to the big team, it means that I work with an entire team at the same time. So if you take yourself as an example, I will be working with you, the founders, with your designers, with your growth hackers, your developers, and even the investors, if possible, right? And systemic means also that I work with teams and customer sets at the same time. And I basically engage all of these populations in structured processes using markers on the floor. And why do I work in that way? There are actually two reasons. One of them is complexity. Yeah? There is a lot of complexity today. Perhaps you are familiar with the darkness principle in Agile. Have you heard of that? The darkness, yeah? Yeah? Okay. So in fact, it comes from system theory. System theory, systemic is actually the same thing. And this principle says that each person, whether part of a customer set or part of the team, only has one mental model of a problem. Therefore, if you are dealing with complexity, it is very smart to invite all of these models to the table, these mental models, so that you can make data-driven decisions, which are also better decisions, right? And there is also a second reason, and that is that the amount of products that we are building today has grown exponentially. We are not living anymore in the time of Henry Ford, you know, who built this T-model car, black car, and this was the car that everyone in the whole wide world wanted to have. So he could basically reproduce it millions of times. That is not what is happening today. That is the reason why you need to involve the customer in your process as quickly as possible, right? So, what does it look like? So this is me, the facilitator, right? And these are the markers on the floor. And the rest will be you, the founders, the designers, the developers, the growth hackers, and also the customers. Because, something that you need to remember, when it comes to idea validation, paying customers are the only experts, right? So by involving your customer as quickly as possible, you are thinking already in terms of sales, which is exactly what you should be doing from day one. At the same time, this process can help you identify your early adopters very quickly, because these are the people who are going to be driving your business model. If you don't find early adopters, then you cannot build yet. Right? So, today's topic is vision and validation. So your vision is not your product. Most entrepreneurs tend to think that, right? But vision is not really your product. So, let me just say something very quickly. How many of you have said, I'm just going to build some stuff and see what happens? Who are they? Yes. Yeah, this happens very often, yeah. Or who has said, for instance, I want to build the best, I don't know, iPhone photo app so that I can share pictures with my friends on Facebook.
Not on Facebook, but...
Yeah, okay. So, none of these two things is going to work, right? Because trends, technologies, social networks, they all come and go. And you want to do, or at least I hope so, is that you want to stay relevant for the long term. So having a vision is the thing that is going to help you with your relevance. So what does a vision look like? Let's look at a few examples. So Google, to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. Twitter, to be the pulse of the planet. Amazon, to be Earth's most customer-centric company, etc. So, as you can see, Google doesn't say anything about searches in their vision. Twitter doesn't say anything about tweets or about apps. And Amazon doesn't say anything about books. Yeah? This is long-term thinking because of trends, the technologies, or even other companies. It's not something that you can base a business upon for the long haul. So a vision is basically big. Yeah, it is aspirational, and it helps you move the focus from the product to the actual problem that you are solving for the customer, right? So Google, yeah, what it's doing is helping us sift through an incredible amount of information, yeah, and making it very simple for us to find what we are looking for, right? And you do that with searches. So later on, when you are going to sell your product, you can also sell your vision because they are like a continuum. One complements the other. Yeah? One reinforces the other. All right, so a vision does three things for you. It lets you pivot when circumstances change. Yeah. So if you look, for instance, at let's say Instagram. You know, Instagram started as a local-based social network competing with Foursquare. Twitter started as a podcast. Flickr as an online game. Groupon as I think it was an online petitioning website. All of them are still in business today because they had a vision for the long term that made it possible for them to pivot, right? So, because here is a hard truth, maybe you already know that, but you are going to face lots of challenges. That's the way it is, right? So, and the key is to see them as opportunities to pivot instead of seeing them as a brick wall. So in fact, I would like you to think about your vision as your protection. It's something that gives you air cover. When circumstances change, it keeps you flexible and adaptable so you can stay in business for the long term. Yeah, that's the importance of a vision. A vision lets everyone know what direction they are going, which is actually very important, even in the case of a small team. Yeah? So if you have a strong vision, you can distinguish actually between distractions that have no added value and beneficial activities. And the third thing, it lets you set goals that define your path and progress. Yeah? So you have a strong vision, then you can define your goals, whether that is, I don't know, 10% market share or 100K visitors per month to your website, and it lets you plan a strategy. And when you have a strategy, you can choose your tactics, the different ways of getting to where you want to go. Yeah? And with that, you can choose your activities, the actual work that needs to be done, right? To make it happen. Okay, so perhaps you're asking yourself, why isn't Solis qualified in any way to say anything about this? The thing is, I also have a vision, right? Which is to make sense out of things, especially if complex or complicated, like thinking differently and challenging the status quo. So, what you see here on the left, I am sitting here at the piano. Yeah? I used to be a pianist of contemporary music. In Germany, it's zeitgenössische music, right? And people tend to call this music complex music, new complexity, right? So I was playing this difficult music, and I was also putting together these projects, these productions, using algorithms to trigger visuals and to trigger also soundscapes. And what you see here on the right is me as a facilitator working with a set of customers and a team. In fact, they actually look pretty much the same, right? So here I am helping a client solve a complex business why do those two things make sense? Because there is a vision fueling both business acts. Yeah? So that's why it's very important that you also have a vision for your startup. Yeah? And why I said if you have a vision, you can use it to sell your product. Okay, so what is the link between these two things? What you see here is notation. It's a way of notating music, yeah, which comes from the world of complexity. And in fact, it is a one-pager that organizes the collaboration, the complex collaboration, in a very easy to see way. And it's an iterative process. And it looks pretty much like what you see on the floor. Yeah? So this is a serious game, and this is a systemic tool. But basically, they do exactly the same thing. They organize a collaboration between people.
Sorry, could you please explain that picture of the bottom, because I don't really understand what it does represent. The yellow things, green things, blue things.
Yeah, so this is a serious game. You have to organize collaboration in that world, right? So you have a legend with certain rules, yeah? And then there is also some space for you to decide how you are going to perform the music, yeah? So this is a visual way of notating music. It's like a flexible grid. Some things are rules, and some things, you are free to fill in as you see fit, right?
It's like a way to generate sheet music.
So this?
So usually if you're a musician, you play great sheet music, so you have like...
That's how I started, because I'm classically trained.
And this is like a generator for that.
You can compare this with a business canvas. It's a one-pager with all the information that you need. Yeah?
So you can play that?
Yeah. Me with an ensemble. Yeah, because this is really a collaboration.
Okay.
Yeah? And it's the same thing that I do here with my clients. Yeah?
Can you give us, please, a practical
Yes,
example?
it's coming.
Okay.
Yes. So basically what I did here is, to paraphrase Jeff Bezos, I used my limited stand skills to open a hamburger and outdoor stand, right? Okay. So, the examples are coming. Yeah? We have one slide before. Okay, so we're moving into validation, right? Who remember the Juicero? Yeah, you do? Anyone else? Okay, because you don't want to be a Juicero. This was really absurdistic. I think you call it an Unding in German.
What?
Unding? Yeah. You go to receive a packet at home, and then you press it in the machine, and it would come out as a juice. It was a business field, right? So that's important because you shouldn't be spending your money on building a product. You should be spending your money on your experiments, right? And then going out to seek validation as quickly as possible, whether positive or negative. Yeah? That's why I chose this quote, because if the answer is a no, then you have to pivot. And if the answer is a yes, yeah, then okay, I can build this pretty quickly. So I would like you to look at this insert here, because as an entrepreneur, I would like you to think of yourself as an artist. Yeah? And what I mean is, as an entrepreneur and an artist is actually the same thing. You are going to build something that doesn't exist yet, and you want people to give you their money. So when you are doing your MVPs and getting frustrated, probably, that will happen a lot of times. If you have a strong vision, I would like you to think of yourself as an artist who goes back and forth. You have to see this as a sort of spiral of creation, who goes back and forth, here, until the vision, your why, your strategy, your how, and your product, your what, align perfectly. Yeah? So that's, I cannot reinforce enough why this is so important, right? Okay, so, examples. do not really do one-on-one interviews, but I work with an entire customer set, right? And I engage them in these games. And one of them is anthropology on steroids. Who is familiar here with ethnographic research? Anyone? Okay. So, ethnographic research is lengthy. That's basically what I did, to transition from one business to the other. While still being a pianist, I became a member of two business networks in the Netherlands, which gave me the opportunity for 5 years to see many operations from the inside. Those were my future clients. So I saw how they behaved, the problems they had, how they spoke about their problems. But not everyone has 5 years to do that kind of thing. So there is a faster way, and this is this one. So what you see here is me, is the set of customers, and using a systemic tool. What I could do on the ground is draw 3 regions, right? One would be for, let's keep it simple, one would be for you and your team, another one would be for the customers, and the third region would be empty. And I would start a process in which you, the team, gets the opportunity to visit the region of the customers, right? And then we will be discovering their values, their challenges, the things that are important to them. And what is crucial there is what's questioning, yeah? When you do this exercise, you really want the client to teach you something. You want to be taught by your client, which refers to what you were saying, right? So there is a lot of active listening involved. When we give feedback, what we want to do is clarify that we have understood what the client is saying, because it's not really about us, but about the client. Now, an example of working this way is Extreme Technologies in the Netherlands. They make loggers for medicines, yeah. So they put loggers in shipments to make sure that the medicines arrive at the right temperature, right? Because if not, they don't work anymore. They also use loggers for bottles. I just saw a new one, a smart bottle. And also they can put strips, also loggers on single pills. And they do that to make sure that patients have taken their medication, right? So, and they have developed all these IoT solutions by working closely with their customers and also with their providers, right? Okay. More techniques to research customer problems. Yeah, as you can see, what I do is I embed the customer interviews into a tool, right? So, let's say Tinder, right? And they put out there a single feature MVP, yeah, the left right swiping. What I could have done with them is what I call a customer selfie. I could have chosen 3 questions, put each one of them in a piece of paper, and I will put those questions on the floor. And the first could have been, for instance, how concerned are you about the convolutedness of dating sites, right? And if people were very concerned, then your customer said they would place themselves very close to the question. And if not, they would place themselves farther apart. So that's very useful for you, because then you get a snapshot, a very quick snapshot of what is happening in your customer set. And I, as a facilitator, would initiate a process asking, why are you standing where you're standing? What does it feel to stand there, right? The second question would be, for instance, how happy would you be if anyone did anything about this? We would do the same process. Closer to the question, another snapshot. And the third question could have been, how happy would you be if we implemented left-right swiping? Yeah, and then you get your first snapshot. This is very quick and very effective.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I have read somewhere that, I mean, this is a known phrase that the customer doesn't know what he wants. But basically, if you ask him, would you use that feature? And they say no. But in reality, if you gave them that feature and they use it and say, oh, it's really cool.
Yeah.
I think it happens a lot.
Yeah.
Times.
Yeah.
Also from my experience, how would you?
Yeah. Okay. So
if you ask them, yeah.
My way of working is that it is not that you develop a product and then you find a market for it, but you involve the client as quickly as possible, right? So that's the way of tackling this issue, right? So perhaps some of you are asking yourself, how do I identify a viable customer problem to build a business upon? The thing is that you don't do this beforehand. You need to test it, and then you know. Nevertheless, I can think of a hack, and that is you do what is called a picnic in the graveyard. Anyone familiar with that?
What?
A picnic in the graveyard. No? Okay. So what that means is that you look for products that have been a failure, and you see how you can improve them. Yeah. So imagine that you have a physic, and you are working with me. You could ask yourself, okay, what should Google have done better? Right. And then I would do, for instance, who is familiar with round robins? Yeah? Okay. So basically imagine I want to sort out the 3 top features that Google Glass should have in order to become a better product, right? That's me, by the way, in Brussels in an innovation convention. But so I will do a round robin because I want to distill those 3 features. And around robin, you write, you ask the participants, your customer set, to write those 3 features in order of importance on a piece of paper. And as a facilitator, I ask anyone, what is your number 1, right? And then I ask the rest of the group, and I count the people who have that on their list, regardless of the ranking. If it is 7 people, then that feature gets a ranking of the 7. So by the end of the process, everyone's features would have been harvested and ranked in relation to the group. The individual ranking is not important anymore, but the group as a whole. Now, I could very easily come to the conclusions that happened actually here. This one is cheaper, this one contains the display and also the power source in the frame, and it is Alexa integrated. Yeah? There are cases when I need to test that part, and then I could say, I could ask 5 people, 3 of them to represent the questions, the features, another one to represent the product, and another one to represent the customers. And then I would initiate another process on the floor using the same dynamics of the previous slides. Okay. Some of you have asked yourself, how do I determine that I am uniquely qualified to pursue a particular customer problem? The thing is, you are the artist, you are the entrepreneur. If you are going to solve a problem, you are going to solve the problem. You are going to decide that, and you're going to test it, and it doesn't work, well, then you pivot. Or you surround yourself with the people who can actually solve the problem. Maybe you need good technologists, or maybe you need good salespeople. It doesn't matter. Collaboration is an exchange of those ranks. Some people ask me, how do you know if a customer problem is large enough to pursue? Well, you don't know it. You have to test it. So how do you do that? You do that with your team. You decide on a success metric with your team. So I am the co-founder of the 7 Sense agency with Larry Connett from Silicon Valley and Mark Barger from Amsterdam. And we had this is our pivot, but we started with a very large retreat in Aruba for all kinds of people from corporations. And we built a website, and the conversion rate was pretty much 0. No, that was not a good idea. So what we did is we pivoted to city events about leadership. And we decided, the 3 of us, what was a success metric, and we took it from there. So a very simple thing to do is what I call line mapping. You draw a line on the floor, you put percentages on it, which represent the metrics, and you ask your team members to stand on a metric. If everyone says 30%, that's pretty clear. That's it. If someone is on the 10% and someone else on the 80%, that's an opportunity for a conversation. You can learn new things. Right? So basically, to summarize, I really love this quote. This is Walt Disney. You can design and create and build the most wonderful product in the world, but it takes people to make the dream a reality. So this is once more a case for the darkness principle. It is people, 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 and people, yeah? Mental models, because you want to make decisions that are the dreams, better decisions. So this way of working is really like qualitative turbo product development, and in a way resembles design sprints in the sense that I also help clients come up with an MVP in just a few days of work. It doesn't have to be an endless process. What other experiments can you do? Well, for instance, a comprehension test. You want to test not whether people are interested in buying, but on whether people understand the value proposition. Walmart did that. Yeah, they bought a value proposition on a piece of paper, showed it to people just enough time so they could read it, and then took it away. What did you understand? And so it became save money, live better, brilliant. It says everything in just a few words. Oh, is that the sign?
The sign could have been up, yes, but that was not it.
Shall I finish this? I have to just
Maybe
a minute or two? Okay, so we're quick. You can do imposter judo. Sabas is the most famous example. What they did, they took pictures of shoes in a real shop. Yeah, they wanted to test will people buy shoes online. And they put the pictures online, and when someone ordered shoes, they would buy them from the real shop and ship them to the client. That's how they tested that there was viability. Another thing is Wizard of Oz. This is an app by Larry Cornett, Pearl, one of my partners at the Seven Sense Agency. And this means that you make people believe that your infrastructure is in place. Yeah? But there is a man behind the curtains doing the actual work. That is exactly what he did. Yeah? So this is an app that created a slideshow, and it put voiceovers and music, and was a nice way to keep memories. And he was actually, people would send him the files via email, and he would upload them. And so he made people believe that the functionality was already there, but he was just doing MVPs. His first MVP was on Keynote, and he uploaded it as an app. So, just to give you a guess what you can do. I'm almost done. Something else you can do is pre-sales. It means you build when someone buys. Yeah? You spend your money making the product when someone actually has given the money already. Oculus does that. Don't know if they still do it because they are now bought by Facebook, but every time they brought a new product on the market, they do this. You can do that with your first one as well. Yeah? You put up a website. If someone buys, you build it. Otherwise, you don't. Okay, so I'm really done now. Just some takeaways. Number one, never fix a problem that is nice to have, because people will never pay for it. Yeah. So you need to solve a problem involving the customer as quickly as possible, so that you make something that the client wants and wants to pay for. Because wanting something and giving you money for it, that's two steps. It's not about you, it's about the client. You want the client to teach you something, right? And you want to make data-driven decisions. Spend your money on pivots, on experiments, and not on building a product. So you are not the next Juicero. You don't want to be that. Experiment to test your risky assumptions. What is a risky assumption? That is something that is important to the core of your business, but that could possibly be wrong. For instance, Trevor Owens from the Startup Machine, he wanted to build an e-Vespa, and this e-thing was very important to him because he cares about the environment. What did he discover? People who drive a Vespa are only interested in looking cool. They don't care about the environment. Okay, so we have to build it. And also, love your early adopters, yeah? Because these are the people who are going to be driving your business model. Don't build anything until